Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
All right, so I am posting this, and then
welcome.
And then I'm gonna pin it. All right, we have the Baba.
I'm just passing through.
Baba Aitoro. We got some folks joining.
Just passing through.
Hello, we got 4 people on. Ooh, we got 7 people on. Greetings. Hello. What's going on? All right, so guess what we're doing today? Does anyone know what this is?
I know it's ugly. Whatever is ugly fruit.
Does anyone know what this is? Okay. Does anyone know?
Did anybody guess?
All right, no one's guessed yet. All right, we just got a bunch of people joining. As you join, shout out your city. And the question on the table is, what is this? Someone said no. Beauty by Jermaine said, no, I don't know what it is. Keydron Brook 1 said squash. Dish Palette said okra. No. Someone said ATL. All right, you shouting out your city. Hello, ATL. What is this? This is not an okra. This is not an okra. All right, you don't know. This, my friends, this is called bitter melon. All right, this is called bitter melon. I'm from Guyana. I am Chef Beee. I am your lifestyle medicine health coach, raw and plant-based chef educator, and I am born and grew up in Brooklyn, but born in Guyana. And much of what I prepare, much of the foods that I make, which are plant-based, are inspired by my upbringing in Guyana. Today, I want to talk to you all about bitters. All right, I want to talk to you all about bitters because guess what? Y'all eating all these wonderful, salty, sweet dishes, but one of the things I know that you're not bringing into your diet are bitters. This, my friend, this is called bitter melon. Bitter melon. In Guyana, we call this KARELA. We call this KARELA. Yes, it's a melon, but it's a bitter melon. All right. This is a very powerful melon. Brooklyn with Caribbean roots. Yes. My plant-based life. Yes, I'm Brooklyn with Caribbean roots. And I'm telling you, a lot of the things that we're seeing now in the plant-based world, the coconut oils, the moss, all of those things, we've grown up on all of those things. And I'm telling you, one of the things that we're not talking about are bringing bitters into your diet. You got to bring the bitters into your diet, okay? This is absolutely bitter. When you taste this, you'll know it's bitter. This is actually has origins in India, in the Caribbean. You'll find this in Guyana. This is one of the dishes that we make. And today I'm going to show you how to prepare this. I'm not going to take the bitter out because it's absolutely bitter. But I'm telling you, from a palate standpoint, we'll talk a little bit about palates and why that's important. You need to experience the full range of your palate. The full range of your palate is sweet, salty, bitter, sour, and one of the things we call is umami, which is like the savoriness, okay? So bitters are super important for the body, and we need to make sure that we bring it in, all right? So we're going to actually make a wonderful dish. This is going to be called sauteed bitter melon or sauteed KARELA with this melon, all right? So I'm going to show you what it looks like. Just a couple fun facts. Bitter melon, from a fiber standpoint, doesn't have a whole lot of fiber, but it has a ton of vitamin C, maybe about 93% of vitamin C, vitamin A, 44%, folate, potassium, zinc, iron. It actually helps with blood pressure. So you'll find that what people do is they'll actually juice this, a part of it, and they'll just drink it, and this helps to support healthy blood pressure. That's one. It also supports cholesterol, so it helps to lower your cholesterol. It also helps for maintaining healthy blood sugar levels. And it's just an awesome, wonderful way to help to reset your palate. And I'll talk to you a little bit about some of the things that I do in terms of my offerings around palates and why you want to make sure that you're bringing in these kinds of foods. All right. So for those of you who are here, we're going to actually prepare this dish. All right. So what is inside of this KARELA dish? Well, we have a few items here, so I'm going to show you.
Don't forget to drink.
All right, so we have garlic. Okay. And then we have a bunch of wonderful, I've already sauteed up or really cut up some of these veggies. So we have celery, we have onions, we have tomatoes in here, and we have, what else did I put in here? I think that's pretty much it. And then this is what happens when you cut this open, so you can see. So this is the KARELA, or the bitter melon. And then when you slice it down the middle, this is what it looks like on the inside, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna pull out the seeds, and we're going to slice them up, okay? So let me show you what this looks like. So we're gonna take a spoon. We're gonna take a spoon, right? Just want you to see. So let me use this. So instead of the spoon, what I'm gonna do here is I'm cutting out the middle, the center part, right? Because we don't want the seeds in here. We don't want the seeds, okay? So we're gonna pull this out, like so. And then that's the inside. So we're hollowing out the inside. And I'm gonna do the same thing for this one. So if you have any questions, let me know. Today we are making a sauteed bitter melon. And just so you know, I get the first Wellness Wednesday for Black Vegetarian Society of Georgia every month. And so we are going to use at least one dish, one thing that's on their list, their seasonal produce list every month. And what we're going to use today, we're going to actually use some onions. So you saw that I cut up some onions. All right, so let me show you what this looks like. So we're cutting this up. We're cutting up the bitter melon, right? And yeah, a lot of people actually confuse this with cucumbers or prickly pear, or no, this is bitter melon KARELA. Super good for you. We want to make sure that when we are eating, that we are eating all of the different aspects of the flavor chair. And the flavor chair is comprised of sweet, salty, savory, bitter, and sour. Okay? So you have to have all of these things in order to be balanced in how you eat. Oftentimes what happens is we're eating too much of salts or sweets, and we get thrown off. So we can't even really taste our food properly anymore because we're just eating all the wrong things. If we're eating a lot of processed foods, we are definitely eating a lot of salt and a lot of sugar. Okay? All right, so this is what it looks like when you cut it up. All right, so that's what that looks like. Okay? And then what I'm going to do now, I have a nice hot pot. So I'm going to bring this closer. We have a nice hot pot. Okay? There we go. And I'm going to add a little bit of oil to my pot. Okay? Just a little bit. And this is olive oil, so I'm using some olive oil. If you have any questions, you can ask. And I'm going to put in here, y'all can see that? I'm gonna put in there the onions and the peppers and the tomatoes and all that good stuff. It already smells amazing, already. Okay? All right, so I am sauteing this. Okay, got that going in. Okay. Now, the other thing that I'm going to add to this pot, the other thing that I'm going to add in here is a little bit of garlic. All right, I'm going to add in a little bit of garlic. All right, so let's see. Those of you who are just jumping on, what are we making? We're actually using this today. We're making some bitter melon stir fry. You gotta make sure that we're bringing in all of the flavor share in our repertoire in terms of our food. And we are sauteing this up. So far we've added tomatoes, onions, garlic. We've added a little bit of, celery to the pot. We also have a little bit of Napa cabbage. I'm adding that in as well. Okay. Sauteing this high. And then the other thing I'm going to add in here is some mushrooms. All right. Now, I want to caution you, when you eat this, you know, bitter is an acquired taste. Eating bitters is an acquired taste. It's not something that we enjoy. It's not something that really tastes good all the time, but it's something that your body needs, okay? You need to be able to cleanse your blood, okay? You need to be able to control your blood pressure and your cholesterol and all of these things, right? And what happens is the bitters allows you to do that. It helps to purify the blood, all right? So one of the things that's done in Guyana, they'll take the bitter melon, they'll actually put a little bit of salt on this. They'll cut it like I showed you, put a little bit of salt, and then they'll actually pull out the liquid from this and then drink it as an elixir. And this is used to help with blood pressure maintenance. All right. Some people don't even want to do all of that. They'll cut half of this and then they'll put it in a juicer, and it's just super bitter. They'll just drink it like that. Super nutritious for you, super good for you. All right. So I'm going to now add in, let me show you what it is. This is the bitter melon. We're going to add that in. We're going to add that in here. Okay. How many of you out here have seen this before? You've seen it at the supermarket before, but you didn't know what to do with it. You're like, what is that? You kind of passed it over. You thought it was a cucumber. You just didn't know what that thing was. Anybody out there, have you seen a bitter melon before? Have you tried a bitter melon before? Let me know. All right. So we got that going. I'm going to bring this closer so you can see. So we got that going. Yeah. So you can see what's going on in the pot. Okay, you see all of that goodness? Got your mushrooms in there. Got the tomatoes in here. Got the bitter melon. Now, here's what I'm also going to add. So in our country, what we like to do is we add shrimp and all those kinds of things, right? But what we're going to do is we're going to add in sea vegetables. So this gives us that sea taste that we love, right? But no shrimp, no fish, okay? So this has dulse and kelp and all sorts of wonderful trace minerals. Okay, so we're adding that in here. And then we're also going to add in some flavor. Not too much salt, right? Not too much salt, because we really want to make sure that we understand how to do this, right? How to enjoy this. And when we add in all the salt, we're masking that bitter, all right? Those of you just joining us, we are working with bitter melon today. Something that we don't often talk about is bitters. Bitters. Yes. All right. And so I'm going to add in, I love using coconut aminos. This is my go-to instead of salt. Okay, so I'm going to add in 2 little teaspoons of this. And remember, I want to enjoy the bitter. All right, I want to enjoy the bitter of my dish. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually cover this, and then I'm going to bring this camera back up to talk to you all. Okay, so while that is kind of sauteing down, what I want to say to you all is, you know, I do a lot of different things in the community. I do health coaching. I also work with people in teaching them how to prepare healthy plant-based foods. So that's why I say I'm a chef educator. One of the things that I enjoy doing is really helping people from a cleansing standpoint every season. And one of the things that I'm finding is that people are having a hard time transitioning to a plant-based diet because their palates are just off. Why do I mean by that? It's off because they're eating a lot of sugar, they're eating a lot of salt, right? And they're eating a lot of processed foods. And so in order for you to really truly enjoy your food, for you to really and truly transition and make it count, you have to reset your palate at some point or another. And the best time to do this is every season. I have something called the Palate Reset. I just started this. I've been doing cleanses for many, many years. But this one has come about because of all the conversations that I've had with clients around eating healthy, eating clean, and how challenging they feel like this is. So we came up with the Palate Reset, and the whole point of the Palate Reset is for you to cleanse through your palate using, you have your tongue scraper, you have your oil kit, you have your plant-based foods that's curated by myself, you have various herbs that's going to help you to really taste your food again and for you to help appreciate your food again. And I'm telling you, foods like the bitter melon is going to really help to set the stage for you, because when you start introducing more bitters into your diet, what you'll be able to do is discern when your food is too salty, too sweet, too anything. Remember, we don't need all of those things, right? Fresh herbs, fresh natural flavors like from onions and garlic and things of that nature. Those are the things that we really need to gravitate to when we're eating. Not all of this hyper high fructose corn syrup, all these preservatives. It is throwing us off big time, okay? And resetting the palate is the most important thing that you can do, particularly if you are working a transition from eating fish, meat, etc., and you want to be a little bit more plant-based, because people are really nervous. They're nervous. They're like, oh my gosh, I know I have to do this. For whatever reason, you're coming to plant-based foods, but you're like, is it going to taste good? Is it yummy? Is it sustainable? And it's not sustainable for a lot of us because of how we've been eating. Palate Reset, y'all. We have another group of the Palate Reset coming on July 19th to the 28th. This is something that you want to do. This is something that you need to do. Everybody needs to reset their palate. Because many of us, summer, people are out again. They're eating ice cream. They're eating the fries. They're eating the burgers. They're doing all that stuff. And you can do it. That's fine. But you also have to be mindful. You have to be obedient with yourself. You have to be disciplined with yourself. And you have to be consistent with yourself. And nothing does that best than doing a cleanse. I'm telling you. A cleanse will get you right. All right, so let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at what's going on in here. All right. Y'all see this? So this is our bitter melon. This is our bitter melon. Looking all beautiful. Has our shiitake mushrooms in here. We have our sea vegetable. And I'm going to taste some. Like I said, it's bitter. So don't get it. Right? This is super bitter. But don't get it twisted. It's good. All right. Let's try it. I'm saying hello to everybody who's joining. Today we're rocking out with some bitter melon. I just pulled this out of the pan, so it's hot. So it's so good. That's the bomb. Delicious. All right, for those of you who just coming in, I want you to tell us what city you're from. Shout out your city. I'm going to show you the final plating of this bitter melon. Sauteed bitter melon. All right, so I'm going to actually put it in here. Show you what this looks like. All right. This is it. Look at that. Y'all, it's bitter, but it's good. It's so good for you. All right? Got the little babies. This is the time we're teaching our young people, our children, how to eat properly. Can't just do salty and sweet, y'all. We got to do the whole flavor chair. We got to do bitters too, sours too, right? Look how beautiful that looks. Look at that. Beautiful. Yes, Atlanta African dance. It is super bitter. I'm from Brooklyn like you, but Bajan roots. All right. How many of you have seen these before? How many of you have seen the bitter melon, the KARELA? How many of you have tried this before? How many of you eat bitters in your diet? How many of you do that? All right. If you're not, that's cool. That's just something that you need to put in. All right. This is what it looks like. It's beautiful. So you can actually eat it just like this, right? You can eat it just like this. Or you can actually eat this with a little bit of like some noodles, some rice noodles, some zucchini noodles, something like that. Just real simple dish. But yes, it's very, very bitter. And that's okay because our tongue needs to get used to other palate messages, right? It can't just have the salty and the sweet. We need sour, we need bitter, we need umami. We need all of it. I have bitter drinks, but much bitter food. Yes. Bitter drinks. So some of the other things that people use, they do bitter elixirs. So like, let's say a burdock root. A burdock root is very, very bitter. Wormwood or walnut root. Those kinds of things are super bitter. And people will drink it as a tincture, but they're not really eating bitter foods. All right. And we need to make sure that we're drinking and eating bitter foods regularly. All right. So this is a reminder for me that I need to make sure that my children and myself, that I'm doing this, because I'll eat it, right? But our children don't necessarily have these experiences because we're like, oh, they're not going to like it. You actually be surprised if a child is used to eating in these ways. It's just what they eat. It's just what they eat. And this will absolutely support your blood pressure. It will support your cholesterol. It will support your overall health, because bitters are known to be blood purifiers, period. All right. Let's see. What are some other bitter foods that have good benefits? All right. So let's see. We talked about the KARELA. That's super bitter. We have the, you have the burdock root. So people use bitters and they don't use them all the time, right? So like, let's say someone's traveling or someone's doing a serious detox. They use bitters in that way. Something else that's good is something called contribo, which is a root. And another one that's quassia root is another bitter. So these are all roots that can be made into elixirs. We'll begin to include. Thanks for that info. Yes, absolutely. And, you know, I'll say this, you know, try just a little bit, right? So if you are doing something like this, a bitter melon saute, just take like, you know, just cut this in half. Saute with all the things that you would normally prepare. Like, you know, if you're doing vegetables, or saute with vegetables, and just use half of this. And just set the intention that you're going to use all of this. Because you need it, right? You need it. Bitters take time to adjust to. Because if you're not used to eating bitter foods, it's like very overwhelming. But that's okay. That's okay. You get used to it, you're good to go. Let's see. Natisha says, yeah, I didn't know about bitters as a detox. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And this particular one, man, I'm telling you, you can cook this, you can juice it, you can extract the liquids out of it. And then when you extract the liquids, people actually drink that, and that helps to cleanse the system as well. So once again, I want to remind you, if you are in need of a palate reset, that is, if you've been eating a lot of fried foods, rice, bread, processed foods, dairy, ice cream, candy, you name it, anything that you don't typically need to eat, then you need a palate reset. All right? You need a palate reset. Okay? And the palate reset that I have, this is going to be group number 3. We've been running these all summer long. I do seasonal cleanses. This is one of my newer cleanses. The palate reset starts on July 19th and it goes for 10 days. What will you get? You will get a bunch of wonderful recipes curated by myself. You will also get a tongue scraper. You will also get your oil pulling kit. You will also get all the herbs that you will need over the 10 days. Okay? And when you get out of that palate reset and you actually go and you try something that you used to eat that was heavily processed, you're going to be like, whoa, that is too much salt, too much sugar. Your palate, your tongue will just be cleared up. We need to do this every quarter, at least every quarter. All right? Every quarter. And at the very least, we want to make sure that we're bringing in more bitter foods like the bitter melon. Today, we also use our onion. Our onions on our Black Vegetarian seasonal list. If you look every summer, every spring, every fall, every winter, every month, Black Vegetarian Society of Georgia, they basically give us a list of wonderful, wonderful produce items that we should have for the season. And I am tasked with giving you guys how to use, you know, one of those items. So we said, let's do bitter melon today. And of course, we added in some of the wonderful fresh bitter melon with the onions. All right. So some people are asking, how do I sign up? How do I sign up for this palate reset? Here you go. bit.ly bit.ly. So if you look here, bit.ly, the Palate Reset, that is going to be your way of signing up. You can also go to my page, Chef Bee. I am Chef Bee, and with 3 E's, and you can actually go to my link in bio, and you will see the Palate Reset and the actual date that the next cohort starts. Okay, it is $147, and then of course you pay for shipping of all of your products. Okay, I would love for you all to participate. Don't you make some nice drinks too, Chef Bee? Cooler something? Yes, I do. The Sorrow Lime Cooler. That's coming. Now, that is not for the Palate Reset. Okay, y'all? The Sorrow is a wonderful drink that helps support, has a lot of vitamin C in it. It also helps with your blood pressure. Really, really good stuff. The Sorrow Lime, and my version has essential oils in it, right? So yes, Sorrow Lime Cooler. You could actually go to our pages and follow us. I am Chef Bee. You can also follow our meal prep page because we do make healthy meals for people who are on the go. So I'm actually typing that here, Essential Meals to Go. And you can follow that page if you're looking to get some healthy meals into your diet. You're looking to be healthier. Let's go. Essential Meals to Go. You got the Sorrow Lime Cooler. And for those of you who are ready to do the reset, bit.ly, the Palate Reset. It is coming on July 19th. So that's for you, Kidron and Brook One. If you want to sign up, and if you know some friends who might be needing this, please share. Because anytime you're doing a cleanse or anything like that, like a detox, it's always good to have some people that you know along for the ride. And the reason why is because, it's always nice to have someone that's rooting for you and that you're rooting for. And who better than your friends and your family member? Because you know how they do. You know what they need. You know what they're supposed to be doing that they're not doing. So it's always wonderful to bring people in on the journey with you. Okay, y'all? So get into this Palate Reset. Get into these bitter foods. Yummy, yummy, yummy. So I'm going to try a little bit more of this. I love it. And it is bitter, but it's good. It's good. Notice we didn't add any salt. We just add a little bit of the coconut aminos. We got mushrooms. We got the onions, the garlic, all of that good stuff. It's really going to support us in just keeping this dish nice and fresh and delicious. Okay? Do you guys have any questions before we jump off? Any questions at all? Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. Hope you learned something new today. Hope you learned about a new food. This is a fruit because it has seeds. And hopefully you'll consider, adding this into your diet. If you don't like mushrooms, that's okay. You can always remove the mushrooms and you can leave the mushrooms off. I know not everybody's a mushroom lover. I love mushrooms. But you can always leave the mushrooms out if you don't want it, and you can replace it with something else, broccoli, any other vegetable that you might desire. Okay? All right. So, any questions before we jump off? Palate Reset, July 19th to the 28th. Oh, also, and you guys can go to my page and check this out. We also have a summer series, a plant-based summer series going right now. We had two classes already, so there's one more class that happens on this Friday at 12 o'clock. Okay? If you go to I Am Chef Bee, you will go to the link in bio. You will see all of the offerings. You will see the Palate Reset offer. You will also see the summer series. I would love for you. It's free. It's free for the summer series. So I would love for you to participate in that. All right, Kid John Brooks says, can sea vegetables be used to substitute crayfish? All right, so here's the deal. We use seafoods. Like if you like sea taste, like when you make a gumbo and all of those things, the reality is, I'm writing down for you, Laura, my IG page. We use seafoods because we like the sea taste. Sea vegetables, they're not as strong as like a shrimp or a fish. But guess what? It has the sea taste, but they have more nutritional value than the actual seafood. All right? So when you talk about like sea taste, we're talking about like the dulse, the kelp, things of that nature, right? Your sea moss, they all have that sea taste. And then you also have those wonderful trace minerals that's inside of the sea vegetables that are amazing. You need those in your diet, right? So I wouldn't say, because the question was, will this substitute crawfish? Crawfish has its own unique flavor. If you still want a little bit of that sea flavor, sea vegetables helps to give you that. But it's not going to completely substitute because it doesn't have texture. It's just more flaky, things of that nature. It also depends on the kind of sea vegetable that you choose, because there are some sea vegetables that are, like, what is that? Oh goodness, I can't even think right now. But like wakame and those things, like you can actually pick it, you can put it in your mouth and you can chew it. So yes, those things are a little bit more intensely flavored as sea tastes than anything. All right. But I love sea flavors. So I use sea vegetables because I love what they do for the body, and it helps me to create healthier alternatives for a lot of the traditional foods that I grew up with. This dish is usually made with like some dried shrimp or fish or beef or things of that nature. But there's no need for all of that because we've got the sea vegetables. Okay, I hope that answers your question, Laura. All right. Any other questions? You guys got the IG page. I would love for you guys to go and follow me. I am Chef Bee. We also have our Essential Meals to Go page. We do healthy plant-based meals. We deliver, you can pick up, and we also ship. All right, y'all. And what we're doing is we want you guys to try some of our stuff. So we do have some add-ons, or just kind of we add into the bag when you get your meals. We offer 3-day, 4-day, and 5-day plans. So we have a wealth of offerings for you. I don't want to overwhelm you. The thing that I do want to stress today is the Palate Reset. And if you are interested in learning how to make healthy plant-based meals, you guys can join that last class of the cooking series. I would love for you all to participate in that. Just connect with me and I will hook you up. All right. We are on YouTube. You can see a wealth of information from us from YouTube. And if you've missed any of those classes, just go to the link in bio. Once you register, I'm going to send you all of the series just in case you missed it. Okay. So just make sure you go to the link in bio and register for the class. Even if you're only going to see this last one live, you can get the other two just by registering. Okay, so I'm going to send that out at the end of the day on Friday. All right, I hope that makes sense. I hope that you got something from this. I hope that you guys bring some more bitters into your diet. And if you have any questions at any time, y'all, just reach out to me. Let me know, and I'll be happy to support you. I am Chef Bee, your lifestyle medicine health coach, raw and plant-based chef educator. And I am always on Black Vegetarian Society of Georgia's IG, the first Wellness Wednesday of the month. All right? So I'm going to catch you guys next month. In the meantime, make sure that you are cleansing your palate, join our Palate Reset, and get some more bitters into your diet. Okay, y'all? Kisses and hugs, and I hope to see all of you soon. Don't forget to go and follow my page. Peace.